All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Boise Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We are a spiritually diverse, justice-seeking religious community with one great aim, proclaiming the power of love at the center of our living tradition. Whoever you are, wherever you are in your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, however you identify, you are welcome here. Whatever faiths you have known, if any, whatever doubts you carry, you are welcome here. I'm the Reverend Sara LaWall. I use she, her pronouns. It is my great honor to serve this beloved community as your minister. Today, I am joined by Justin Blauch, drummer extraordinaire and host of our community drum circle. And we're here today for a service of poetry and drumming and music and reflection. Let's take a moment to welcome our online community, those who are joining us on Zoom. Good morning, friends. And look around the room and give a wave to folks that you see, to each other. And our Zoomers, you're turning on your cameras. It's so great that we can see you live and in person. Welcome, Mark and Mary. Welcome, Wanda and Linda and Helen. It's so good to see your faces. Welcome, Bonnie and Eileen and Jen. A special welcome to any newcomers among us, any of you that may be visiting family right now or that are checking us out for the first time. We know it takes a lot of courage to check out a new community, and so we're so glad that you've chosen us this morning. We invite you to stick around after our hospitality time and introduce yourselves so that we can warmly welcome you. If you're a newcomer on Zoom, we invite you to introduce yourselves in the chat so that we can welcome you. And we have some newcomer forms on the tables in our entryways that you can fill out and stay up to date with all that is happening in our fellowship. I want to give one brief announcement that today, after we grab some coffee, our board president, Rob Ham, and I are hosting the first of what we hope will be monthly theme and sermon discussion opportunities. The last Sunday of every month, where we're gathered together to discuss the monthly theme and the sermons of the month, and informal group community and conversation, and that will be held in our chanting room down here in the south hallway. Each week, we begin our worship service by centering ourselves and lighting our flaming chalice, the symbol of our free faith, a beacon of hope, love, and justice. As we light the chalice here in our sanctuary, I invite those of you in our virtual community to light a chalice or a candle if you have one nearby along with us this morning. Then share in the chat where it is your chalice is lit this morning. As has become our custom on the Sunday between Christmas and New Year's, today's service features poetry and music. We've called it Poetry for the Resistance, as an invitation to reflect on the challenges we face in this coming year and how we might be called to respond as individuals and a community. We've added music and drumming today, of course, thanks to the artistry of Justin Blauch and some of our drummers, to ground us, to inspire us, and to move us toward hope and possibility. Together, we remind ourselves of our collective power in all the myriad ways we can show up for each other, for our larger community, and for social change. If you feel called to the drums or some rhythm instrument, you are welcome to join in during our drumming meditation and again at the end of the service. A few of you, there's some percussion instruments scattered about in your seats. If you're like, oh no, and you want to hot potato it to the next person, you can do that. Or you can just go for it. There will be some drumming also underneath some of the poetry. So again, we're here to just kind of free flow with it today, but just invite you to stay focused on the words of the poetry and not let our drums overwhelm our words today, also so that our folks on Zoom can hear. If the drumming gets too intense in here, then the microphones freak out. Otherwise, we're just going to go with it. We are going to begin with our gathering chant today. This chant, Tula Klizeo, is a Zulu chant written by Joseph Shabalala of Ladysmith Black Mambazo on a trip to New York City in 1988. He was missing his home in South Africa, still with apartheid in full effect, and did not know if he would ever be able to return. So he wrote the words, "Be still, my heart. Even here I am at home." That is the English translation of Tula Klizeo, and the lyrics we'll sing today. His lyrics in a simple chant remind us that home is wherever we are, always with us. Even if we may be forced to leave and never return, we can never lose our sense of home. So I'm going to teach you the chant, and then our drummers will come up and we'll just go with it for a little while. The words are here on the screen, so this is how the first phrase is going to sound. Tula Klizeo na le pasakaya. 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 Okay, you got those two lines repetitive. The second part. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. One more time. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Okay, so you see as the words, you got it. That's wonderful. Your Zulu is fabulous. You see it there. We do each line twice, and we just repeat, and you'll hear me say last time in the microphone, and you'll know that will be our last time. So I'll invite us all to rise and body your spirit as we get going here. Drummers, give us a beat. Ready, and here we go. Tula Klizeo na le pasakaya. Tula Klizeo na le pasakaya. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Tula Klizeo na le pasakaya. Tula Klizeo na le pasakaya. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Tula Klizeo na le pasakaya. Tula Klizeo na le pasakaya. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Tula Klizeo na le pasakaya. Last time. Tula Klizeo na le pasakaya. Tula Klizeo na le pasakaya. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Hey kaya na le pasakaya. Next up.
We come from and live on land considered sacred by many indigenous peoples, known as Bannock, Shoshone, Paiute, and many other tribes that lived here sustainably for thousands of years, inhabiting a vast region including much of Idaho.
We recognize the long history of the land, long before colonization, and acknowledge the ancient tribes whose names have been lost in history.
With this acknowledgement, we wish to demonstrate our commitment to dismantling the legacies of settler colonialism. We honor Indigenous peoples' connection to the land and support their right to sovereignty.
In the challenges of these truths, may we move through the world bringing justice in every way that we can, listening to the truths spoken to us by Native American peoples, making space for them to re-inhabit this place, and giving them back the resources they need to heal their communities.
Our spiritual theme for the month of December is living love through the practice of presence. In our poetry, music, and drumming today, we invite you to be present to the cries of community, the cries for sanctuary, for resistance, and for hope and possibility. We let the words and the rhythms and the presence of one another wash over us to nourish and fortify our spirits for the coming year. So as we enter into this time for worship, I invite you all to take a breath with me. Let us breathe together, filling our bodies with breath, knowing that our breath connects us to one another, to our bodies, and to our planet. Our breath offers us an opportunity for stillness, to tune in to our spiritual center, to listen deeply to our heart's own longing. We share this same opening poem each week, and each week it has a way of taking on new meaning. Today I invite you to hear the words as an invitation to presence, the kind of presence that can ground you and hold you for whatever may arrive. Thou art the song of my heart in the morning. Thou art the dawn of truth in my soul. Thou art the dew of the roses adorning. Thou art the woven whole. Thine is the grace to be steadfast in danger. Thine is the peace that none can destroy. Thine is the face of the need-riven stranger. Thine are the wings of joy. Thou art the deep, to the deep in me calling. Thou art a lamp where my feet shall tread. Thy way is steep past the peril of falling. Thou art my daily bread. Thine be the praise of my spirit uplifted. Thou art the sea to each flowing stream. Thine be the days that are gathered and sifted. Thou art the deathless dream.
Do you ever feel like you're in that big garbage compactor on Star Wars? Surrounded by heaps of scrap metal opinions and elbows. Standing in water so murky you can't even see your shoes. And you're pretty certain there's something lurking beneath the surface. What's worse is the walls are closing in. You're just searching for a pipe or a board long enough and strong enough to prop between the oncoming mobs. One thing's for sure. We're all gonna be a lot thinner. The china is flying in these tiny houses. I can't tell if this is supposed to be a toilet or a dinner table. Can we make room for discerning? In an age of pundits perpetually pushing perceptions, does everybody already know everything? Is there any room left for learning? Before we jump straight to stake burning and regurgitating our rehearsed rhetoric, can we make room to mourn for lamenting this mortal condition. Before we let our circumstances circumvent our identities, can we make room for reckoning? These talking heads are deafening, desperate for dirty laundry to toss into a 24-hour spin cycle, 7 days a week. Wash, rinse, repeat. Is there no more need for contemplation? I don't think these problems are gonna be solved in 280 characters or less. Is there any room left for conversation, for nuance, for differences? We're all so scared of what we're blind to. What if we opened our eyes amid our dispositions and looked for something that wasn't already written on the inside of our eyelids? What if we moved the comfy couches and our minds off to the side and made room for the wrestle? What if we knocked over a few lamps in there? Sometimes apologizing is better than apologetics. We're all under construction, and all the dust and the chaos and the drilling. Can we look past the aesthetics for just a second? Can we make room for the messes? For incompleteness, for progression? Sometimes we don't need the answers. We just need some space from the questions. Can we make room for a day of rest when we just need to heal from this pain and sickness? Can we frame these fragile family portraits in a proper context when the glass is cracked because it has fallen to the floor for the 40th time? The drywall anchors keep failing because the weight of it all is just too much. Or maybe we're not installing them right. Either way, it's us. Can we make room for forgiveness? Can we grab a paintbrush, roll up our sleeves and paint some of these walls the colors of our humanness? Can we remember the hue? Can we cut out some squares for windows and let some light in here? Maybe we could remember the view. This foundation's got a lot of broken bones. We can't fix these broken homes without building. Can we make room for the master craftsman? Can we consult the architect instead of taking a jackhammer to the plumbing just because we found a leaky faucet? Can we make room for becoming? And when we see someone struggling, stuck down there in that garbage pit, and there's no C-3PO with the code to halt the crushing, can we throw them a new rope? Show them the pull of peace instead of the tug of war? Can we raise them up and invite them through the door? Can we make room for a new hope?
Our call to worship this morning is from Marge Piercy. This is her poem, The Low Road. What can they do to you? Whatever they want. They can set you up, they can bust you, they can break your fingers. They can burn your brain with electricity, blur you with drugs till you can't walk, can't remember. They can do anything you can't stop them from doing.
How can you stop them? Alone you can fight, you can refuse. You can take what revenge you can, but they roll over you.
But two people fighting back to back can cut through a mob. A snake dancing file can break a cordon. An army can meet an army. Two people can keep each other sane, can give support, conviction, love, hope.
Three people are a delegation, a committee, a wedge. With four, you can play bridge and start an organization. With six, you can rent a whole house, eat pie for dinner with no seconds, and hold a fundraising party. A dozen make a demonstration, 100 fill a hall. 1,000 have solidarity and their own newsletter. 10,000, power and your own paper. 100,000, your own media. 10 million, your own country.
It goes on one at a time. It starts when you care to act. It starts when you do it again and they said no. It starts when you say we and know who you mean. And each day you mean one more. Come, let us worship together.
All right, we're going to do a little active drum meditation. Invite everybody to stand up and dance or drum or whatever you feel called to do. So a lot of times meditation is a passive experience, but I like to do it with creativity because we're all made of music. Everything we do in this physical plane is dancing. And music is just a conversation. So just like if you have we're all used to using our rhythm and our words to talk to each other and listen back and forth. And just like with a conversation, you bring it out in waves. Or you bring your expression out and you kind of drop it back to listen to the other one coming back to you. And feel free to come up and use some drums. There's a thunder drum at the end there. There's all kinds of stuff. We got a dance floor right here. Yes. So John Bergamo was an American percussionist and professor at Berkeley, and he had a very simple way of doing rhythm. It's all 2s and 3s. So this is just 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you can add different couplets or triples. Try out some different rhythms, and then if it gets crazy, just come back to the one central rhythm. And invite you to bring your expression up and then bring it back and listen. We're all taking in these waveforms and constructing reality out of it. And when we do creativity or play, we're pushing it back out and having a conversation and building community.
everybody. Thank you, Justin. You know, we could have just gone on like that for the rest of the hour. Next time. I do want to take a moment and give some great gratitude to Jay Wexelberger, who handcrafted this beautiful drum and this beautiful drum right here. It's a real joy to be able to bring them out of my office and listen to them and watch them get played. It's gorgeous. This next poem is by Muhammad Ali, whom I discovered is a poet. I didn't realize he'd written poetry, and of course, an activist in addition to being a boxer of great fame. He took a few cups of love. He took 1 tablespoon of patience, 1 teaspoon of generosity, 1 pint of kindness. He took 1 quart of laughter, 1 pinch of concern, and then he mixed willingness with happiness. He added lots of faith, and he stirred it up well. Then he spread it over a span of a lifetime, and he served it to each and every deserving person he met. His poem is a recipe for generosity, for it is when we give that we mix together our love and willingness and kindness with the vision of spreading it to so many in need. As this is a 5th Sunday of the month, we share today's offering gifts with our own food pantry, which directly serves those in need, not only with food, but with much needed gas cards. In our few cups of love, we commit to building the beloved community within and beyond our walls. I invite our ushers to come forward. Our offering will now be received.
Sanctuary, sanctuary, sanctuary. Let's walk each other home. I'll be your sanctuary. Sanctuary, sanctuary, let's walk each other home.
As our ushers bring our offering gifts forward, I invite you to join together in the collective blessing for our offering. We bless these gifts so freely given. May generosity always be our companion as we walk the holy path toward ever greater compassion and beauty. Thank you.
This is the poem November Eyes by Richard Blauch. I question everyone, everything, even the sun, as I drive east down Main Street, radio off, to Amy's Diner. She bobby pins her hair, smiles her usual good morning, but her eyes askew say something like, "You believe this?" As she wipes the counter, tosses aside the Journal Times, the election headlines, as bitter as the coffee she pours me without a blink. After a cup and a blueberry muffin, I remember my bills are due on the 15th, so I cross on Main Street to the post office. Those American flag stamps are all Debbie has left. I refuse to buy them. A never mind in my eyes, which she dismisses with the gesture of, "Suit yourself." Bills can wait, but not my dog's treats or the milk I'm out of, so I drive up Main again to the food basket. "Paper or plastic?" Jan asks me at the checkout. But it doesn't matter. What matters is this. She's been to my barbecues. I've donated to her son's football league. We've shoveled each other's driveways. We send each other Christmas cards. She knows I'm Latino and gay, yet suddenly I don't know who she is as I read the button on her polyester vest. Make America great again. Meaning she doesn't really know me either. We manage smiles when she hands me my change, but our locked eyes say nothing. So I dash off. I go see Tom at the bank to cash a measly check for some grand magazine for some grand poem of mine, loaded with some grand words like transcend. As if my inked verbs could bend a river's will, shuffle stars, change the fate of our nation, or blur in Tom's eyes, thinking what I think of our reflection on the bulletproof window, asking, "So now what, Mr. Poet?" But I can't answer. I can only remember today that I'm supposed to buy a rake, light bulbs, nails to hang my aging mother's photos, so I swing by Union Hardware, see Dan who knows me and what I need. He rings me up, doesn't say goodbye. He says, "Good luck." As if his eyes can see the uncertainty in my own. Worried about my immigrant cousin, factory jobs, groped women's hijabs, blacklists, bans, the church, deep state, cops, race, and which lives matter. Hacked votes, refugee camps, dead children, missiles, suicide bombers, carbon footprints, polar bears, sunk islands, my gay marriage. The bills for my pre-existing ulcer flaring, guns at the malls, guns at schools, guns at clubs, more guns, more corporate rights, soulless cubicles, the empty Supreme Court seats, the border wall, bullying, the demise of language, news, the silence of suspicion, the uneasy guessing, the surprise of who's who, the cheers and gloating or jeers and swearing, the final picking of sides, right or left, blue or red state, city or town, but no gray today except the November clouds looming over Main Street, with all the rest of our unrest arrested in our eyes, clashing against each other's glares, ready for battle.
Thank you, Michael. We're going to work together today in this service to create a community poem, our own ready for battle poem, perhaps. So here's what I am going to invite you to do. There are 3 words here on the screen: sanctuary, resistance, and possibility. And I'm going to divide you up. And so I'd like you to use your index card to write just one word or phrase that comes to mind for the word I'm going to assign your group. And then I'm going to try to assemble as many of your words as possible into a poem together. So, this group here is about halfway through in that line of this section, and this side here, your word is sanctuary. From the middle of this center, the center sections here, your word is resistance. And you on the end over here, your word is possibility. So I just need a word or a phrase that you think of when you think of that word. And if you need to be more prolific, you can use the back of your card just to get all the words out. That's what I would do, just knowing that they may not make it into the poem. And Justin's gonna play it a little music for us while you write. So if I could invite our 3 ushers, please, to collect just one section's worth of cards. So one usher collect, thanks Trish, right here, Sanctuary. Jay, if you can collect the center cards, the resistance. And who was our other usher, 3rd usher over here, possibility. Thanks, Heidi. Trish, could I send you over to Possibility? Thank you. Possibility. Don't forget the possibility.
Oh, I am waking up to find my world between the dying and being reborn. I see what is and I see what could be. Can't close my eyes again and go back to sleep. Fill my days with blessed unrest and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. How can I change our course? Just a lonely voice. Wish I could lose myself in all the noise. But if we all would rise, a generation proud with a mighty song, we could turn this world around. So fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Ancestors all behind, and before me every child. I bring the power of a long unbroken line. So when our time is through, I wanna know, did what we came to do for the future ones. So in our darkest days, may we all be strong and give our lives so life may go on. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide. Fill my days with blessed unrest, and my nights with dreams of justice. Make me a vessel for the turning of the tide.
Almost there. Okay, thanks. Got this. Okay, here we go. Resistance. Resistance finds us living on the edge of fear and uncertainty. Resistance tells us where we need to grow. Resistance with love, even when we're afraid. In a community, we are all one in a circle, in a sanctuary. Resistance is like wind fighting hard to blow away oppression, spirited with purpose, with wings to shelter the heart of defiance, bursting forth at the greatest moment of need. With resistance, we stand strong with arms linked together. We let them know who we are by our love. We don't give up. We are like thunder. Resistance is to hold your heart against the hate. Loving, peaceful. Our existence is resistance. We are not going anywhere. Resistance is the coefficient of drag. It tells us to speak up. It is sometimes all we have, and it can make all the difference. It invites us to rise up with love, to take a stand for peace, for understanding. Viva la resistance. And in our fight, in the resistance, let us pledge sanctuary, shelter from the storms of tyranny and hate. Let us become the places, spaces, and people that hold peace and love, welcome freedom, where there is always a safe home for everyone in community. Our sanctuary is always a safe harbor, a place in the looming storm. Sanctuary is probably just an idea, because true sanctuary needs to be built by community. Let our sanctuary give us a place of quiet, meditation, to listen to the love within, to feel the warm hug of embrace, to stand at the center of our hearts, together, dreaming of a future, dreaming of possibility for each person to be seen, a possibility for infinite opportunities to love, to exist as fully expressed human beings, to love ourselves in a world with so much hate, and to keep loving each other. The possibility to see the other as me, to be the radical change guided by universal love and omnipotent compassion. Imagine the possibility. Imagine a new day, the promise of morning. Open hands, open hearts, palms of love. Perhaps possibility allows for both hope and fear, both faith and love, for a brighter tomorrow. Amen. Beautiful poem, friends. I will have to transcribe that from the Zoom. So now I want to invite us into a time of prayer, but to embody the words of our poem and the words of what it means to be in community, I want to invite some readers to share this poetry in prayer with all of us. So I've broken it up into 7 sections. So if I could have 7 reader volunteers come join me up here in a line. 7, Ian, Jay, Steve, Krista, Diane, Ian, Jay, Steve, Krista, Diane, Jeanette. One more. Beautiful. Okay, come all the way up here. Steve, you're going to be first. Each section is identified as reader, so I'm just going to have you cycle through. It might be helpful if you point to the section for the person that's going to follow you, so we can just move our way through, and when you're done, you can go sit down. Okay? So this prayer in poetry is a beautiful, beautiful poem from former poet laureate and indigenous poet Joy Harjo. It is called calling the spirit back from wandering the earth in its human feet. So I invite you into the spirit of prayer and meditation together.
Put down that bag of potato chips, that white bread, that bottle of pop. Turn off that cell phone, computer, and remote control. Open the door, then close it behind you. Take a breath offered by friendly winds. They travel the earth, gathering essences of plants to clean. Give it back with gratitude. If you sing, it will give your spirit lift to fly to the stars' ears and back. Acknowledge this earth who has cared for you since you were a dream planting itself precisely within your parents' desire.
Let your moccasined feet take you to the encampment of the guardians, who have known you before time, who will be there after time. They sit before the fire that has been there without time. Let the earth stabilize your post-colonial insecure jitters. Be respectful of the small insects, birds, and animal people who accompany you. Ask their forgiveness for the harm we humans have brought down upon them.
Don't worry. The heart knows the way through. There may be high-rises, interstates, checkpoints, armed soldiers, massacres, wars, and those who will despise you because they despise themselves. The journey might take you a few hours, a day, a year, a few years, 100, 1,000, or even more.
Watch your mind. Without training, it might run away and leave your heart for the immense human feast set by the thieves of time. Do not hold regrets. When you find your way to the circle, to the fire kept burning by the keepers of your soul, you will be welcomed.
You must clean yourself with cedar, sage, or other healing plant. Cut the ties you have to failure and shame. Let go of the pain you are holding in your mind, your shoulders, your heart, all the way to your feet. Let go of the pain of your ancestors to make way for those who are heading in a new direction. Ask for forgiveness. Call upon the help of those who love you. These helpers take many forms: animal, element, bird, angel, saint, stone, or ancestor.
Call your spirit back. It may be caught in corners and creases of shame, judgment, and human abuse. You must call in a way that your spirit will want to return. Speak to it as you would to a beloved child. Welcome your spirit back from its wandering. It may return in pieces, in tatters. Gather them together. They will be happy to be found after being lost for so long.
Your spirit will need to sleep a while after it is bathed and given clean clothes. Now you're going to have a party. Invite everyone you know who loves and supports you. Keep room for those who have no place else to go. Make a giveaway. And remember, keep the speeches short. What's so funny about that? Then you must do this. Help the next person find their way through the dark. May it be so. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, readers. That was gorgeous. I am struck by the way the spirit showed up for our readers, and it felt like each of you read the part that was just really suited and meant for you. Our closing song today is by Pat Humphreys of Emma's Revolution. It was originally written for a Take Back the Night rally, but it has become a song for justice movements across the country. So you are invited to rise in body or spirit and sing and drum and clap along. You'll hear in the video that the rhythm comes in about partway through the second verse. So we'll sing the first verse together and then we'll come in together with the rhythm.
We're gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. We're gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Never turning back. We're gonna honor those before us. Honor those before us. Turning back, never turning back. We're gonna reach across our borders, reach across our borders, reach across our borders, never turning back. Never turning back. We're gonna work for change together. Work for change together. Work for change together. Never turning back. Never turning back. Keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Keep on singing loudly. Never turning back. Never turning back.
Yeah. I invite you to place your hands over your hearts for our closing blessing. Remembering that the freedom and liberty this country strives for is for everyone, and we are never turning back. Let this final poem that sits at the feet of our Statue of Liberty serve as that reminder. This is The New Colossus by Emma Lazarus. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame with conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here, at our sea-washed, sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore, send these, the tempest tossed, to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Blessed are we all. Go in peace and keep drumming.